Hi, it's me. I am doing a tips and tricks on the ColorFresh that some people have decided to purchase, which is awesome for blending the grays. Okay, so here is my ColorFresh. I'm using 6-stroke 0. I don't have a ton of gray, but I have a few. So it comes like this. You want to just kind of take the tip off of the ColorFresh bottle. Comes with gloves. Put your gloves on. Couple of hints for people who are doing this. Number one, make sure your hair is damp. If you don't want to cover up any highlights that you have on your ends, you have got to make sure not to get it on the ends. So note to self, if you want to keep the integrity of your highlights, make sure the ends are wet, and I would also cover them with some conditioner and be liberal on your ends if you do not want the color on your ends. Number two, comb out, get it pretty nicely sectioned out so you don't have all this tangles to deal with, okay? Here, comes with gloves. Put the gloves on to protect your hands. Now, my suggestion, there's a little gray right there. So my suggestion to you is to get the bottle out and kind of get in there and work it through. And I would suggest to just use it around your hairline and the areas you can see. So such as your hairline and your part. In the salon, we usually call that part and temples. But right now, it's all of your hairline. I mean, you know where the grays are coming in right here. So get that good. I'm just putting a little bit on and working it in. Putting a little bit on and working it in. Just a little squirt and then work it in with your fingers. Easy peasy. You know, section that out of the way. Get that on. Now, it's important to put it where you're going to see it. Take your time. I mean, it's not like, you know, they say you can leave it on for 20 minutes. That's the tops. If you want a good bit of gray coverage, I would say 20 minutes would be the tops. Now, if you want a couple more usages out of this, definitely just do around your hairline and your temple where you're seeing the gray most. Okay, so I'm just working it in there. This product is meant for retail to refresh your color. Some of the darker colors or the stroke zeros could be a little on the ashy side. So that's why I'm saying make sure your ends are pretty wet, okay? And also, I'm using it to separate. Put some conditioner on your ends if you want to keep your highlights, okay? You can see a gray right there. So I'm taking that too. I mean, have your comb out, because you don't want to get all this stuff all over the place. Wish I was there doing it for you, but not yet, people, not yet. So here we go. A little bit here. Put it in your part where you're going to see those grays. Okay? I'm squirting it in my part, and I'm using my finger to kind of rub it where the gray is. Now, I would suggest you take a little bit where your part goes, a little bit on each side, and use a nozzle to do that. I'm putting a little bit more right here, working that in. Like I said, it's mostly important for you guys, for the people who are ordering this, just to really blend the gray. This is not going to cover your gray. It's not going to cover it completely, but it definitely will blend it. Okay? So a great option, and the colors we chose for you are along the lines of what we use, but it's definitely not your hair color we always use. This is a Tide Me Over. Tide Me's. Okay, so here we go. All right, that's all I'm doing, people, because I like to save this for another application because Lord knows how long this is going to be. All right, so work it in, work it in. My part is here, so I did a little bit on each side, and I did all around the front. All around the front. It smells great. It's conditioning. There's no alcohol or peroxide in it. Okay, I'm going to wait 20 minutes, and then when I rinse it out, note to people with highlights they want to keep, note to people, if you want to keep your highlights, which I have a little bit of lightness on my ends, you might want to, after you apply it, get your ends out of the way with maybe a rubber band on the ends, so then you rinse it out. You rinse out, like if you have a nozzle on your kitchen sink, I'm going to try to show you that too. Get the roots out first, but if your ends they should have some conditioner, or you can even re-wet the ends. Then get that head under, try to keep the ends out and rinse it out. I mean, if it gets on your ends a little bit, it's fine. It's not going to be the end of the world. It just might tone them a little too much. And if that's the case, a little clarifying shampoo. Don't necessarily recommend Dawn, but Dawn dish detergent, take that color right out of the ends, but keep it on your roots. So I'll be back in 20 minutes to show you what I did. Another tip. If you feel like your ends need a little more protection and you have them, little conditioner right here, little conditioner, and then again load it on those ends so if they do hit it, they're protected. Just a little tip. Look, the ends are now covered with extra conditioner. Look, just section them out and protect them. Rub that through, conditioner. Waiting for my color to process. Okay, I'm definitely not going out front. Okay? Okay, I'm getting ready to rinse it out, and I just wanted to show I'm getting ready to rinse it out. So if you have a nozzle, that's probably the best way to do it. And keep your hair up if you're trying to keep your highlights. Just try to keep your hair up and in. All right. And it says just rinse, no shampoo, because your hair is already previously shampooed. So here I go. I am going to hold out the ends and just rinse the roots to make sure all the color gets out. So just hold out those ends so the color does not get on the ends at all. Now some of you, it will be fine if it does, but if you have highlights you want to keep, just try to keep it out of the ends at first. Hold this up. Again, you have the conditioner on your ends as well. So keep that out of the rinsing. Make sure you get most of the color out. If you have someone to help you, great. Feels like it's pretty good. If you have a mirror, you can bring it and look at it. But then I'm going to release my ends so I can make sure it's all rinsed. Go ahead and take your ponytails out and do a good, solid final rinse to just really get that all out. Again, it's just a stain to kind of blend your gray a little bit. It's not going to cover, it's not your normal color. Make sure you use a dark towel in case there's any residue. You don't want to ruin your nice lighter towels. I think we should be good for rinsing. Oops. All right, I'm gonna dry it. And then I'll be back to show you. Okay, so I'm done. So definitely kept the ends out. Definitely toned down the gray. You are not going to get coverage, but it will tone it down. So it covered 30%. So somewhat staining the gray so it's not so harsh. While the front is not nearly as white as it was, it definitely has toned it. So I'm pleased. I feel good. It's shiny. Yeah, I like it. Definitely highly recommend. For those of us who are a little more gray, you might want to leave it on the root a little bit more, a little longer, but otherwise, super happy with the results. ColorFresh was easy peasy. Take my tips. This is not your normal hair color that we would put on at the salon. It's just a get me through and something to make you feel better. It's going to tone down your gray, and if you put it on your ends, it will definitely tone the ends. I did not. As you could see the video, I kept my ends out because I wanted to keep the highlight, but I might just try to put it on the ends and see what it does. And if I do, I will definitely video that. All right, good luck. Any questions, email me, Karen@pagave.com. I'm here to answer all your questions. ColorFresh, it's awesome. It's a great retail item. I'm going to try to stick some extra gloves in your bags because wasn't a fan of those little plastic gloves. So I'm going to try to put some, see if we have some at the salon. If we do, I'm going to stick some in your bag as well. Okay? Thank you, and don't hesitate to reach out and ask me any questions before you do it. Okay, I'm here. Have a great day. Enjoy the sunshine.